Right, in today's student interview, we have Alexi on, who was trying to get his agency off the ground for 9 months before we started working together. Fast forward a couple months later, he 4x'd the income he was making at his 9 to 5. And he just messaged me a couple days ago saying that he's actually officially left his 9 to 5. So he has escaped the matrix, exited the rat race. I think you guys will enjoy this one. To another student interview for Conscious Entrepreneur. Alexi, good to have you here, man.
Cheers for having me, mate.
So pretty cool. Just to start with your journey, right? When we first met, obviously working your job, working on getting the agency off the ground. You've now made, I think, almost 3x your full-time income for the last 2 months consecutively.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, like I made a post about this the other day and I was like, that's the real win to me. Like that's the real flex, because it's like makes the biggest impact in your life, going from not needing to work full time to having enough income to be free, right? Making 50K a month, making 100K a month is great, but the way it actually affects your life day to day and having that freedom, this is what I'm most excited about, bro. Yeah, like I'd love for you to just like tell your story from the last year, like what it's been like running the agency, what you were doing, obviously when we met. Give people a bit of context.
Yeah, cool. So I mean, I started my agency in, I think it was 2022, and I was just sort of doing it all on my own really. And I had a friend that I started with, but I had no past experience, no skill sets. I was starting completely from scratch. And I started, like I said, started like October 2022. I started in real estate, and I mean, I was having a lot of troubles with it all because obviously I didn't have the skills, right? And I got sold a bit of the dream online that I'm going to make 10K a month in however long, and obviously I didn't have the skills to be able to make that much money. But yeah, I mean, the first year was tough. Like it was a lot of rejection, it was a lot of learning, it was a lot of like developing me as a person as well, because I was a very different guy a couple of years ago to the guy I am today. But yeah, I mean, I did all right considering it was my first ever year. I got a couple of real estate clients in the front half of 2023, but then I lost, this time last year, I lost all of my clients. So I was making no money. I was in a bit of like a down spot because my 9 to 5 job was on to me, and I felt a bit stuck with it all. I didn't really know like what I needed to do next. So for the rest of last year, I just carried on learning, carried on developing my skill set. And then I eventually got to my new niche, which is what I'm doing now, which is helping coaches. But again, for the back end of last year, although I decided my niche, I improved my sales skills a bit, did some courses, I had no idea how to deliver the service. I had no idea what really I needed to do as my next steps. And I just felt a bit lost with it all really. And then come to the start of this year, it was weird. I ended up getting 2 clients on coaches to do a free trial just to get out into the market and just to try and get some people on board. And I had no idea what to do. I had no idea where I was going with it all. And what was funny is that your stuff started popping up and I kept seeing you again around that time. Now, the reason I recognized you was because a year in the middle, well, when I had my real estate clients in 2023, I reached out to loads of people in this Facebook group, and just by coincidence, you were one of them, and you helped me out for free. And when I reached out to you, I didn't realize sort of how established you were in the agency space and how big you were and all this, but you still took some time to help me out. And when I saw you started this year, I was like, oh, it's that guy who helped me last year. Let me reach out to him, see if he's doing any mentoring. And yeah, I mean, the rest is history pretty much.
I love that, man. I forget, like, it's funny because like people always talk about the like 0 to, making the money, placing a job, but it's like most people don't realize like the amount of time you can spend before that, right? And I remember with you, like your big thing was around service delivery, and you were like, I just need to figure out the service delivery, and that was I think that was because of maybe the experience with the real estate clients, right? And this is such a good lesson for like all agency owners, just anyone in the coaching space as well, because like it's usually a big limiting belief. But I saw with you that like I already knew like you were gonna put in the work to figure it out with the delivery, right? So I remember, I think it was like within 24 hours of us starting, you'd like got a new coach on to work with, and then you were literally like delivering results within the first like days. And I remember you asking me like, so is this good? We've booked like 3 appointments, or so, I can't remember the number. And I was like, yes, that's good. And you were like, oh, okay. Like, and like your just standards are just like so high. But I think it's like a good lesson to other people as well, which is just like, you know, you don't have to have everything figured out. Like, of course, you want to be able to give a good service, and like that's what I talk about all the time, right? It's giving a good service, but only way to give good service is by actually working with people. So it was cool just to see you like. I feel like you like once you got that confidence in yourself as well. Obviously, the strategies and all that side of thing we went into. I feel like once you got that confidence, you've just been like running with it. How's it been like internally wise for you? Like in the last couple months we've been working together. Like how do you see yourself from a personal perspective and internal perspective before and now?
Yeah, a whole nother level. Like it's not even comparable. I think that first of all, the main word that you mentioned was obviously confidence. Obviously, like you said again, for me, the service delivery was such a big factor of it, and it was really important for me to make sure that I was getting results for people, and that was really bugging me. So to then get on a call and sell, you need that conviction, you need that confidence, and I was lacking in that at first. So I think first of all, working with you, that really built up my confidence. But the other thing that I've found in myself is I feel a lot calmer, a lot less anxious about it all. And I think that's just through just having the knowledge and having you by my side and having the strategies and the confidence in it all. And yeah, I don't really know how to exactly put it into words, but overall, like from an internal perspective, I just feel like I've gone to the next level up, just as a person, as a business owner. And like I said, yeah, they're the main things: confidence, less anxiety. I feel a lot calmer in myself. I trust myself more on my ability, because obviously, like you said before, with the other clients I had in real estate, the results weren't the best and things like that. But yeah, internally, definitely been a massive shift. And just, I think as well, like you said, the limiting beliefs. I think because I've been doing this on my own, I didn't have anyone around me who was successful in the space or to give me the knowledge. I developed some limiting beliefs of my own around some money things, about charging a certain amount, about doing the service delivery, all these little things. I'd sort of developed these limiting beliefs just because of past experiences, and just because I had no one to challenge my thought processes. That makes sense. And I think one thing I really found useful is you challenged a lot of those limiting beliefs. And it wouldn't be anything crazy, but just because you've got that mindset and you're not limiting yourself in that way, what you were saying to me was like, when you tell me that, I was like, oh, right, okay, yeah. And then that sort of just helped me unlock it for myself, and sort of be able to look at myself as well and realize when I'm limiting myself as well now, if that makes sense, based off of what you've told me. And when you've challenged those thoughts for me, now I can sort of also look at myself and go, why are you thinking that? Change that. And if that makes sense. So yeah, I think confidence and the limiting beliefs has definitely been really big for me, especially to get to where I am today, 100%.
Yeah, I feel now you're just collecting piffs from clients like there's no tomorrow, bro. It's like, but that's just a reflection, right? It's a reflection of you yourself internally, which is sick. So okay, that's internal. How about like some of the external stuff? Like, what have been some things you've taken away that you would share with yourself if you were, a couple months back? What have some of those like gems been that you feel you've got?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the service delivery, having the knowledge to be able to do that, like I keep saying, that was such a big thing for me, because I wanted to actually build a business that actually has a good service. I didn't want to make crazy guarantees, get loads of people on, and end up refunding everyone. I actually wanted to build something sustainable and positive. So that, for me anyway, personally, that was such a massive thing, learning how to do that. And obviously you've been amazing in helping with that, breaking it all down, like every aspect of it. I think also the sales calls. I think you've helped me take that to the next level. Just some little elements of it that you gave me. Again, some things that you maybe would never be able to see yourself, but just from breaking down some of my calls, that's been really useful. Trying to think, and then I guess obviously the main thing is like actually getting clients on board and actually making money. Obviously, that's a big shift, and actually sort of making it consistent without pushing too much on the outreach. Like we've still got, I feel like the ceiling's so high and we've barely touched the surface of what's going to happen. Like, although I'm making 3 times my salary, it's all been off of, a lot of it's been off of word of mouth. Some of it's been completely cold clients, but that's because of the service is good and we've worked on that. But yeah, I just feel like, it just feels like now I actually have a business. Like if you looked at it from the outside, it's like I actually have a business. I have real clients paying me money, getting them results. And yeah, it's just slowly all stacking up, and just the momentum's building, really.
Dude, this is why I like when we spoke over the phone, I was instantly like, I know this is going to be a good relationship because you've got the right values. Like this is one of the values of conscious entrepreneurship that I want more people to understand, is like when you genuinely build a business the right way, aka building a service or a product that actually helps people, that actually caring about your clients, you just put yourself in the top 1%, particularly in the online space, because everyone just focuses on like, what's the marketing strategy, what's the funnel, what's the sales tactic. Whereas it's like, dude, you're like a couple months into this new offer and you're already getting referrals. Like that is basically, I don't think I've said that to you like one-on-one, like that is basically unheard of. And it's like, that's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing something good, people tell people about it, right? But the reality is most people build their online businesses to such a shaky foundation where it's like they've got one little strategy that's getting them some meetings, but then they're getting people on, and then those people aren't happy, and then it just becomes this like negative, like self-fulfilling cycle out of like, when is this thing going to come toppling down? But when you just build the foundation the right way, not only do you build something for the long term, you actually feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? And I think like, you know, there's no better feeling than waking up being like, okay, of course there's going to be fires to put out. Not like it's sunshine and rainbows every single day. Not even trying to paint that picture. But when you've got clients who are actually genuinely helping, like how much more confidence does that give you in like the long-term view of the business?
Yeah, I mean, it's night and day. And I think as well, that's why my sales has got so much better, because I know I can get on those calls with 100% conviction and belief in myself. And that's why I've got a good conversion rate on my calls as well. I feel not only have we worked on that, but it's also having that service. But I think, I couldn't even imagine what it would be like if we didn't set that foundation. It just would be, like you said, a negative cycle that's just knock my confidence, not my belief in it, and just end it. So yeah, I think that's been the most important bit, really, is just building that base and building that belief in it all and starting from there.
What do your family think about this? Like, do you share with them like how things are going, like in your own life? Like, what are their thoughts? Curious.
Yeah, they think it's amazing. They're really involved in it. I'm quite lucky that they're quite supportive of me and they believe in me a lot. But yeah, they think it's crazy. I remember like when I made like the first bit of big money, well, compared to what I was doing before, where I made like 3K in a day, and my mum and dad got home from work, and I was like, I just made 3K today. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's crazy. And yeah, again, look, I couldn't do it without you, but in terms of, they're really supportive, and they just think it's just, because obviously they're from a different time as well, right? Because I remember when I started it, they were a bit, in 2022, they were a bit skeptical of it. Like, they believed in me, but they were like, look, we don't really know what this is. Like, just don't give up your job too early, all of this stuff, which is normal because they care, obviously. But yeah, I just sort of had to show them through the hard work and through the results that, look, this can work. But yeah, they've just been like completely like shocked at how quickly it's gone, especially because they've seen how hard it was last year, and to see like the change this year, they're like, wow, like that's phenomenal. But yeah, no, it's cool to sort of show them it's possible and show them what can happen. But yeah, they're extremely proud, that's for sure.
I love that, man. I don't think there's a better feeling than when your parents go from and obviously when they're not believing in you, it's not like they don't love you, it's just they want what's best for you, right? From their perspective. But when they go from that to then seeing you win, like, I don't care what anyone says, bro, that's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah,
like when you can actually show your parents and they're actually proud of you, dude. I'm so happy for you, man.
Cheers.
I'm actually going to be back in London in July, so me, you, maybe we'll get your dad along as well. We'll go to the Bulgari and we'll do some cigars. That'll be fine.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Heck yeah, bro. Sick. Awesome, man. Well, look, final question for you is, if you look where you are now and where you were, who do you think is the right type of person to do this? Like, who do you think this kind of thing is right for? Who would you recommend it to?
Yeah, I think anyone really who's really looking to build a solid business online, it's not a scam, it's genuine, and you want to sort of do it in the right way, pretty much. And that's what I've loved about working with you, is that everything's been about doing it properly, because that's so important to me. And I think anyone who's really looking to work on themselves, isn't afraid of putting in the work, and really just wants to take everything they're doing to the next level, I wouldn't look anywhere else. I've before working with you, I've looked at all these typical gurus with the big courses and the big names, and I've enrolled in some of them, and none of them have come close to this at all. And so I think anyone who's actually serious about trying to take their online business to the next level and trying to make some money and build an actual proper business, then I think this would be perfect for you.
Appreciate that, man. I actually didn't know you did courses before. Actually, I'd be curious, like, what would you say the main difference has been between the ones you've done and this?
Yeah, I think the main thing for me is like the difference that you can see in that those guys, it just feels like they want your money. They've built a semi-decent thing, which, all right, gives you some all right knowledge, but they're doing it at scale, and it feels like because it's at such a big scale, it's lost a lot of the value in it. And it's not personalized. But what I've loved with you is it's been really one-to-one, detailed, personalized. It feels like you care. You've made time for me, and you've sort of held my hand and took me through the motions. And I think with those bigger courses where it's like they're just putting you through video courses and there's a group coaching or whatever it is, and sometimes that gets lost in it. But yeah, I think the main difference for me is that, first of all, you actually care and you actually want to help, which you can see is genuine. And secondly, it's more personalized. I feel like with those big courses, you get lost in the general noise of it all, and it's also generalized. It's hard to apply to you specifically. So I think that's why it's been so powerful for me. It's because I can ask you my specific problems and get them solved specifically to me, if that makes sense. So I think that's been the main difference.
I have to say as well, like, part of the reason of your success is because you're actually a good student. I don't think people give credit to this enough. Like, you always come prepared, questions ready, you put in the work, you've executed on everything. It's like you're just the type, you've just got the right traits for someone to be successful. I've said this to you like many times in different ways. You just have the right characteristic traits, and you also like put your ego to one side as well, like which is such a rare and undervalued trait of just being able to then take on knowledge. And that's why you've been able to just comparatively grow so quickly, dude. Before we wrap up, any last final words, part of advice for the peeps listening?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you to you, because none of this would have been possible without you. And it's literally, well, it's pretty much, it has changed my life pretty much. It's taken me from 5-6 months ago being clueless what to do feeling at the bottom with it all and stuck to now sort of thriving and just realizing how high the ceiling is. So like I said, I want to say thank you for you, because you've completely changed my life pretty much. And anyone watching, I mean, take the leap. I mean, you won't find anything else like this. And like I said, I've tried all the big influencers and all their big courses. There's nothing like this. And I mean, the results speak for themselves. And if you actually want to, like I said before, if you actually want to be successful in this space and you're ready to learn and invest in yourself, then I couldn't recommend anything else apart from this.
Appreciate you, man. We're here to take down all the gurus, man. That's really nice. Seriously, man, I appreciate that. And for anyone watching at this point, search The Honest Entrepreneur on YouTube, and you can see Alexi's journey. He's been documenting, man. This guy has been showing it, keeping it real. So if you want to be inspired by someone who's actually on the journey and get to look back and be like, oh, damn, man, I knew Alexi before he blew up, then go give him a follow on YouTube. We'll drop it in the description. Pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much, mate.